So, for today's movie review, I'll be reviewing the movie Guardians of the Galaxy. Now, when Marvel was announcing its Phase 2 of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, we all know there was going to be an Iron Man 3, another Captain America movie, another Thor movie, but no one would have predicted Guardians of the Galaxy. And many people were like, who? While the comic book readers were just like, really? And to my surprise, I've actually heard of some of these characters. Like, I've heard of Drax, I've heard of Gamora, I've even heard of Rocket Raccoon, mainly because of Marvel vs. Capcom 3, the Ultimate Edition. But the fact of the matter is, Marvel is taking a huge risk with this movie, so was this a hit or miss with Marvel? So for the main plot of Guardians of the Galaxy, it's about a treasure hunter, a maniac, an assassin, and two bounty hunters who all decide to join forces to stop this maniacal madman from the Kree Empire from getting his hands on this ancient artifact that would basically destroy the universe as we know it. Now, in terms of what I liked about Guardians of the Galaxy, for a comic movie, it's different in a good sort of way, because when most people think about comic movies, they think about the typical superhero movie where you have this person, they either create some type of invention or gain superpowers and they fight a supervillain. Basically your standard superhero formula. This movie, it doesn't follow the standard superhero formula because we're not dealing with superheroes. We're dealing with a group of intergalactic outlaws. The movie is visually appealing from both the set designs and the costume designs. And also, among any Marvel movie, Guardians of the Galaxy has to be the funniest to date. Because with some of the other films, they had their funny moments here and there, but Guardians of the Galaxy had plenty of jokes sprinkled throughout the entire movie. Hell, there were some jokes I was surprised they got away with it. It was just that funny. And yeah, that's really about it for what I liked about the movie. In terms of what I disliked about this movie, there's nothing for me to really dislike about the movie, because I thought the movie was fine as it is. I think the only problems I had with it were the way they portrayed Ronan and Groot. But I'll talk about them later. I think the main problem I had with the movie really was the post-credits scene, because usually a post-credits scene is supposed to be like a little hint to like a future Marvel movie. This one here, I mean, it's funny because they introduce a really obscure Marvel character. But beyond that, it was just like, I wanted to see either, a little hint towards a future movie, or maybe show some footage from Avengers Age of Ultron. Not, have a comical punchline. Now, as for the main character, star himself, Quill, he's a very easygoing guy who happens to be a treasure hunter. So he's kind of like Indiana Jones, just minus him being a professor of archaeology. But throughout the most of the movie, he's just very easygoing until like major shit happens. Then he becomes like the leader and actually coordinates like battle strategies and crap with like some of the other members of the Guardians of the Galaxy. And when he does become the leader, he kind of reminded me of Captain America in the Avengers movie, where he basically got the Avengers shit together. That's basically how Star-Lord here is. He just basically got everyone's shit together. As for Gamora, in the comic books, she's known as the deadliest woman in the universe because of her training under Thanos. In the movie, she is an assassin. She does give the cold shoulder, but you could tell that her character had a lot of heart, because even though she is in league with Thanos, she wants nothing to do with Thanos and wants to set things straight. If there's one thing I liked about Gamora's physical appearance in this movie, is the costume. Because if you look at her costume in the comics, it's very fan servicey, because she basically shows a lot of skin, a lot of cleavage. This here, there wasn't really that much skin to be shown, but there's one thing that bugs me about her physical appearance in the movie, is the pink highlights. I did not understand why she had the pink highlights. I could have done without that, but she was a cool character overall. Now, Drax the Destroyer, I feel out of any member of the Guardians, I feel like he was the most underdeveloped character in the entire movie, because your motivation is understandable, but your backstory, I wish they went a bit in depth with his character, because in the comic books, he was a human known as Arthur, who had a wife and kid, but then they all got massacred by Thanos at one point in time, and basically Arthur gets resurrected as this being called Drax the Destroyer, whose purpose is to kill Thanos. And in the movie here, he's nothing more than a psychopath who's just motivated by rage to just kill everything. And I feel he doesn't think things through, because at one point in the movie, he's basically challenging Ronan to a fight and basically gets his ass whooped. But near the end of the movie, you could still tell that Drax was a mindless brute, but you could also tell that he was starting to make friends with this strange group of people
even though he only knew them for a few days. Because at one point he says something along the lines of, even though I put us all in great danger, you still accepted me back as one of your own.
Then you have Rocket Raccoon. Now, this character could have been easily the biggest flop of the entire movie. But no, he's actually the best thing about the movie. And out of any of the characters, he is the funniest character in the movie. Because you have Star-Lord, who is funny, but Rocket Raccoon is funnier than Star-Lord is. And basically, Rocket Raccoon is a weapons tactician among the Guardians. And also, he's the brains of the operation, because in the comic books, he's actually the second in command of the Guardians. And you can see that he's extremely intelligent in this movie, forming, like, plans to escape prison, or, like, inventing weapons to either blow up a moon or something. But I think my only complaint about the character is he doesn't have that chutney accent like he's known for having in the comics. But beyond that, he was a character that they pulled off perfectly for the movie. Then comes probably my favorite character of the movie, Groot. Basically, he's one of two things. One, he's a tree of a few words, because all he says throughout the entire movie is, I am Groot. Second thing, he's actually kind of a cool character, because he goes from being a gentle giant to being a brute.
Although my main problem with the character is the way he was treated in film. Because
in the movie, from what I could gather, he's not that intelligent, because you have Rocket Raccoon at one point in the movie being like, he ain't smart like you and me, because all he says is I and am and Groot. And even Drax at one point says, thank you, dumb tree, or something like that. And the thing is, Groot in the comic books, from what I've heard, he's actually really intelligent. It's just, when he does speak, all we hear is, I am Groot. He has a very interesting relationship with Rocket Raccoon, because it reminded me of Han Solo and Chewbacca, because you got one character who doesn't speak English, or says very few words, yet you got the other guy who can understand him perfectly. But overall, Groot was probably my favorite character of the movie. Now, as for the collector of the movie, his appearance in the movie is nothing more than one of two things. One, he's a glorified cameo. And second, he's really only there to explain what the Infinity Stones are to the general audience. That's really about it. And the thing is, ever since the post-credits scene from Thor the Dark World, I was under the impression that he was going to be like one of the many bad guys in this movie. Because he sounds like he's interested in collecting these stones.
Which he is, but you don't really know if he's good or evil, because he just seems like this character who is just very neutral. And that's about it for the collector.
Now, as for the main villain of the movie, Ronan the Accuser is basically this rogue commander of the Kree Empire, who basically wants to destroy the Zendarians because of reasons. His motivation I thought was kind of weak, because we don't really go into too much detail as to why he wants to destroy them. It's just, I want to destroy him because of this. It's like, really, that's it? I wish his character was a bit more fleshed out. And in terms of physical appearance, he looks pretty cool, but he's not what I was expecting, because when I think of Ronan, I kind of think of him as Judge Dredd, but I think of him as a bit more noble. In the movie, he's nothing more than a psychopath. And he really doesn't do much or demonstrate his powers, really. Also, I did not like the actor playing him. It's like, I wish I had someone else to play Ronan. As for Ronan's henchmen, basically you have Korath the Pursuer. Basically, he's your standard second in command. He's a bounty hunter. And yeah, he's just one of your just generic henchmen. He had very little to no character in the entire movie. Then comes Nebula. She is basically an intergalactic space pirate who is the adopted daughter of Thanos, and also sister to Gamora. There's really not much to her character. Like, she's basically your typical henchwoman.
In terms of her physical appearance, I'm more used to her old comic book counterpart where she had the longer hair, but they based her appearance in this movie off her current appearance in the comic books where she's bald, and it doesn't look that bad. Although I wish they used her character a bit more in this movie.
Then comes the Mad Titan himself, Thanos. Even though he only appears in 1 to 2 scenes in this movie, he was pretty cool to see on screen. And boy, he gave me chills when I first saw him. But overall, he was a pretty cool villain. Even though he only appears for like a couple minutes. So for my final verdict of Guardians of the Galaxy, was this a hit or miss? I say it was a hit. Not only did Marvel take a huge risk on it, they succeeded in introducing an obscure cast of characters no one would have predicted seeing on the big screen. And the movie for a comic book film is completely different from any other comic book movie because it's not focused on a superhero or superheroes, it's focused on a group of intergalactic outlaws. That's different. And the movie is visually appealing and it has a good sense of humor. And as for the characters in the movie, granted, their backstories were basically spoon-fed to us,
but we got a general gist of what each character is like to the point that by the end of the movie, we all liked them.
And I felt that the portrayal of Ronan there was the weakest point of the movie, and the post-credits scene was just kind of disappointing. So, before I give my final rating, what does everyone else have to say about Guardians of the Galaxy? Generally positive reviews. I'm happy this film did well. So, for my final rating of Guardians of the Galaxy, I give it a 4.5 out of 5. So, regardless if it is the movie version of the Guardians of the Galaxy or the comic version, who's your favorite member of the Guardians of the Galaxy? And see you later.